All right. So for those following along, I'm going to do a little bonus bit here before we actually get into my US8 turn. I'm going to show this Excel sheet that Amund, I got to give him credit where credit's due, actually gave me the bone start of it, and then I put it on steroids. And it's an interesting fact. It's this game being kind of summarized in numbers on a good old Excel sheet. For those of that actually know me, Excel is like I play around with it way too much. So now this Excel sheet was before he took Japan's turn, so it was after UK8, before Japan 8. At the time, Japan and US both had 47 IPC left to spend in round 8, so I figured it was a decent kind of, their turns are going to be relatively equal other than the attacks and whatnot. So here's a spreadsheet, and don't get afraid of it when I first show it. So this is the spreadsheet, and so just to give you an idea, really the green and the yellow is what we're going to really look at. But this is the starting units at the start of the game. This is what everybody starts with: Russia, UK, US, Germany, Japan. So this part never changed. This is my starting reference point. And so what I got the total number of units, including transports, total number of units that each side has, the IPC value of those, their attack power and defense power as you guys know them, and then my little nomenclature that I use of attack strength and defense strength, which takes unit counts into effect as well as their APDP. Um, you have to watch one of my other videos where I explain that. I'm not going to go into detail on that right now, but it's just these are the numbers I really like to look at. Interesting thing, I never realized this, is that both Allies and Axis start with 108 units exactly equal. I think we all know, so on these summaries, so this is the difference between Axis and Allies. So a positive means it is an Axis lead. Negative is Allies lead. I just had to choose one, and that's just how it came out to be. So negative is Allies, which is me in this game, and positive is Axis, which is him. So the starting board, I think we all knew the Axis starts with more power, more attack power, more defense power. The Allies units are a little more valuable overall. And then, of course, attack strength, defense strength kind of goes hand in hand with that attack power, defense power. So that's the starting game. So most of all these numbers you see, they're actually formula driven. So what I'm entering is each round, I'm entering how many units I built and how many casualties I had in that round. So Russia built 4 infantry and 2 tanks in round 1. They lost 6 infantry, 1 artillery, 3 tanks, and a sub in round 1. And this is what I'm filling out as I'm playing the game, and everything on here just takes effect. So the interesting thing here is looking at this. So I'm going to do this we won't. So looking at the total number of units, IPC, attack power, defense strength, defense strength, it's going straight down. So again, this is starting. This is the end of round 1. So remember, I had the not so great round 1. Axis gained 2 units on me, flipped the IPC, gained attack power, gained defense power, attack strength, defense strength, all went up on Axis' side, which is not good because Axis has that advantage and can press hard early. But you can see round 2, comparatively, all these numbers went down. So I had a really good round 2 overall. Round 3 went back his way as the numbers went up. Round 4 came back down to me slightly, IPC value. Round 3 he went really well his way. He has 7 units there. Round 5 I chipped away a little bit. Round 6 was another big round for me. So I don't even remember what happened on round 6, but I flipped and took a 4 unit advantage in round 6. And look at this. Now Allies have attack power, defense power advantage, although the Axis still had attack strength and defense strength advantages. And then continuing right on, round 7 went horribly for me, and it flipped back from a 4 unit advantage to me to 4 unit advantage to him. These numbers all went back positive, and that's where UK just completely flopped completely on all their trades and just threw units into the grinder for nothing. So that was at the end of round 7. So current, this is my current state of the game, which again we flipped before Japan and US's turn. We flipped 6 units, and we're driving numbers back down again to our advantage. So uh, that is where we currently stand compared to the start of the game. I've gained 2 units, 50 value of IPC. I've gained 10 attack power. I've gained 17 defense power, 6 attack strength, and 13 defense strength. So I have taken advantage. And then here's the other summary: is Army, Air Force, and Navy advantages. So not surprising, Axis has the lead in everything Army-wise. I have the lead in everything Air Force-wise, especially defense-wise. And then Navy is my advantage as well. The interesting thing here, when you really look down at it, and I kind of broke it down, the differential of wins and losses, builds and losses. The overall differential of infantry units from the start of the game to currently, Axis has had a plus 12 advantage, as well as bombers, he's had a plus 5 advantage. But where Allies has been good is we have a plus 5 in artillery, plus 2 in tanks, and plus 8 in fighters. And that's where this comes in. I've had a plus 8 advantage in fighters, and that's where I've built up good defense strength from my Air Force. So just thought that was interesting. Like I said, among credit, he said, have you ever tracked the number of units? And I said, no. And he sent me that, and then I amped it up with all the data entry and whatnot. He kind of had a manual track going, but I like seeing how it affects the other parts. So here we go. All right, so let's see, Japan's round. He bought 2 fighters, which means he's starting to get a pretty heavy Japan Air Force. There's 4 fighters, 5, 7 fighters, and 2 bombers in here, and he shifted fighters over here into the Mediterranean area as well. He did take India, as we can see. He took these guys up here, the Russian units up there. I hadn't even looked at this yet. This, like I said, this isn't into my thing yet. Archangel was defenseless. He killed 3 infantry and an AA and lost 3 infantry, so not bad for me. I'll take that. Novo and Bologna, he just killed the 1 units and won those. So interesting thing here now. Now we got this U.S. fleet, which really can't do anything in the central med. I could come up here and take this guy. I could use fighters to come, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm going to kill these guys. Now the question is, what do I do with the actual fleet? When I take this, I'll be putting a little threat value down this way. Not much threat value, I'll be honest, because he's got a pretty good sized fleet sitting here, and he doesn't. Unfortunately, I really want to get a bomber here. I would really like to have a bomber here so that I could threaten this better, but I have no threat there, so he can just pull these around. So navies aren't really going to match up this turn, although I will be sitting there. He's got no threat from me. The good news is, instead of coming to Africa, he did pull back to India from Madagascar, and I am going to use my UK to retake India, even though he's setting up to take India back from me. I'm happy to trade swap units back and forth between UK and Japan down here rather than up here, because that lets my Kazakhstan stay a little bit longer, and we are going to continue that. I do want to try and pull at least 1, if not 2 of these transports out. But the difficult part here is he does have 3 bombers and a fighter, and I just got the 1 carrier and a fighter. So we're going to understack fleets in 13 and 17, and ultimately we're going to have 2 transports and 2 transporters. And if he wants to take a shot, and in particular this one's going to be the understack one, which is going to be interesting because I'm going to have my battleship, a cruiser, and a carrier sitting down here. But if he wants to take a shot at it, to have good odds, he'll have to do a 1-2. 1 Germany, and then 2, only 3 of these fighters can reach because of the carrier coming in, and 2 bombers. So I'll have to do a 1-2 IPC value-wise comes actually slightly negative for him, but he'll be slightly positive if he kills the 2 transports. Not much more I want to do in the med, so I'm not super concerned if he does it. So, in any case, otherwise, I am building another fighter to go up here because I'm going to send one of these fighters down here, and I really want to have 2 fighters up here. And we're also going to build a bomber because I'm really missing my bomber. It stunk that I had to sacrifice that guy. I want my bomber back, so we're going to get a bomber back on the board. Otherwise, the rest is going to be spent towards infantry. 1 going here, 5 coming back over here to pick up 4 for these guys to come back. And then we'll have 1 to match the AA to go with the transport that I'm building in Season 11 as well. That transport will get us up to 10 transports total, which is the number I kind of like to have with the US. And the fact that he may kill 2 of them means, well, I probably want that extra 1 anyways. So my goal is to kill these guys effectively. With how the dice have been, we just want to really hit them. And just clean them quickly because they can start to filter in and start to hopefully get into this training, or any leftover units with my 2 transports could come back and trade in the med some still too, if they don't kill them. The one disappointing thing is I wanted to really take 2 fighters here because we know this guy's been one of those invincible guys. It's got to be his time. But I need this fighter to come down to 13, and if I attack, I can't get him down to 13. And I need 2 fighters here to wrap up, so I couldn't do like one of these fighters back and 1 fighter stay there. I really need 2 of them on the boats to make Japan have to stretch to kill them. So I'm just one US fighter short of what I really want to be at with everything, which we're building 1, and that'll put 6 US fighters on the board with 3 carriers. So, all right, let's see. All that jabbering. I'm just gonna sit here, make him come to me. I could try to the 50-50 there, but probably just gonna lose units. So I'm just gonna let him sit. This battle becomes actually very important because I've got a fighter sitting here because I thought the UK was going to take him. Of course, that didn't happen. I'll be able to take this with a Russian infantry to protect the Blitz, but this battle, I really need the infantry to kill him and take it would be ideal. If we kill him but don't take it, he's got a tank that can Blitz, and then he's got his air that can come here. I'm going to move 1 unit over, and Russia will have turn, so I'll probably move the Russian AA up as well. That's what I'll end up doing if I have to, and make it at least a risky shot. I could build 2 infantry there as well, but that's also going to depend on how these battles go, because Russia's going to try to trade these, UK will trade these. That way Moscow's not under threat. But that battle's really going to be important. If the artillery lives, it's going to make this a real big headache. So I really need that artillery to at least die, which is why I wanted to send 2 planes, but I really can't afford it, unfortunately. You hate it when you get to that point and you're like, oh, I really want to. Hey, at least they're going to be favorable this time, so I'll take it. We want this just to be a massacre. The faster we deal with them, the best. So both the cruiser and the battleship get to take a shot. Go cruiser. All right. Go battleship. Good. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Oh well, for the massacre. Oh well, that's good. Let's just get this, 4 hits. Ooh. Thank goodness his dice aren't doing much better, so that's the saving grace here. There we go. I think that ended up being at the end of it all ended up being exactly average. 4 infantry, 2 artillery living was the exact mid range. So we both had not great dice during that. This is big. We need that hit. Go infantry. Yes. Go infantry. Ah, but he got the hit back. All right, so we gotta watch that blitz and tank now. I figure out how we're gonna handle that. Gonna leave these guys on back. This guy on down here. Put the second one in here because we're gonna have these guys over here. The other guy's gonna go that way, and that leaves 2 transports, 2 there that can be used, and then 2 transports here that have really 8 units to choose from. Now we're doing this being confident that we're going to take these guys out so he can't just kick me. So we need to make sure we have a good battle there. Because we have so much control over making sure about that, but... Three units up there. I think I'm going to leave the infantry. Actually, you know what? Let's leave one of these artillery now. Let's keep it as an infantry. So that way we'll have 2 infantry for the transport I'm building there. These 2 destroyers are going to come out this way. So we got a destroyer and a loaded carrier versus his 3 bombers and a fighter. Like I said, down here we got a battleship cruiser, loaded carrier that he could take a shot on. I was thinking for a moment maybe we move 1 destroyer here and leave this. It gives him a 60% chance to wipe that out with the 2 transports. But I'd rather lose transports here than transports here because these transports can get, you know, pretty back into it pretty quick, you know, into the fray. Whereas these transports, you know, if I lose these guys may not have much to do here because he's got these stacks going on. Alright, let's see, is that everything? That looks like everything. Right. Oh, we still got a damaged guy there. We can only build 7, so maybe it's worth just putting 2 Russians in there, but it's going to depend. I gotta take these guys if I do that, or else I'm gonna have to pull UK out, and that might expose me here. Maybe we could always pull out of India. Oy. Head spinning. But I do want to make sure that this is difficult to get at. And I think I want to just... I can build 5 and 2. But I gotta make sure I clean these guys up. I don't want to have a mess here. All right, I'm going to pause for a second because I hadn't really thought about this because I didn't realize I still had a damaged industry. I mean, I guess I could put 6 in one at least. If I go ahead and build one, that lets me put 6 in one. And we'll 2 infantry, a fighter, and an AA be enough to deter him from doing a tank and air raid. I don't know. We'll take a look at it. I'm going to pause the video for a moment. Alright, yeah, so we're going to be okay here. And, you know, one thing that, as I was playing, you know, why haven't I shifted this West Russia stack to Caucasus instead of just continuing to trade this and letting Germany take it? It's a good question and probably not well answered, to be honest, other than the fact that I kept having UK units in here. So this next UK turn is going to be a downturn where I'm not. We're going to move those guys over. We're going to pull the fighters out. And we'll take this, hopefully take this guy. We'll see on how everything plays out there with UK. And then we can move the Russians into here. I was also a little timid that I didn't want to turn and lose, you know, stuff out of West Russia and not be able to restack it. But the moment his supply lines got cut off and he wasn't reinforcing here, I probably should have been doing that a little bit more. I probably could have done this move 1 or 2 turns earlier, where come down here, he's going to then move up here to threaten this guy, which then I can move back up to there and pivot back and forth. But I just got to make sure I don't get my UK guys stuck in the middle of it all. So when I move UK here next turn, because I want to keep him here, I want to move this, get my stack to start coming in here, then we're going to be in a better place to shift around. So it may be that I should have came up here a little while ago instead of continuing to trade here. I don't know, but that's where we're at. All right, so I'm going to build the 7, put 6 in here. I mean, 18-6, and I'm going to move this tank out, and I just need to have at least one of my fighters hanging back here is enough. So now I really want to take this because, again, in addition to him being able to do that, I don't want him to have a Japan 1 and well, I guess I have the UK coming in there like we just talked about. So maybe we don't do the 2 there. Maybe we just do the 1 there and instead do 2 on Balagda, since that's the more valuable one. And hopefully we can get that 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 3 infantry more I could build if I get them. So let's hope for the best. I really just want to make sure I kill it. I really want to hit the guys so that the UK can take care of the 2-person stack. That way I don't have to worry about Moscow. What is with the dice today? Good gracious. Thank you, at least hitting the guy. And of course we don't get this money. Erg. It's dice. Thank you, fighter. So, I'm pretty confident between I could just send 1 infantry and all these UK air and wipe out these 2 guys. So I feel good about that at least. And I want to get as many over here as I can so that I can be a little bit looser with my UK play. We're going to move that AA up there to make that a little bit more challenging. We're going to put the 1 infantry in there. So hopefully it'll be less tempting. I looked at if he sent the tank, 2 fighters, and 3 bombers. It's IPC neutral. Most likely he's going to win. It'll clear, but it's IPC neutral. I'm not counting on this UK fighter to land anywhere. So, so we'll see if he takes it. I guess I should say, part of what I was doing on getting these tanks down here so that, they can be a counter on Russia, or excuse me, India. Russian tanks can be helped with a counter possibly between them and the fighters. We got 5 units that could hit India if we needed them to. Alright, there we go. Okay, pretty solid buy by Germany. 11 infantry, 1 artillery. He's able to build the 2 extra guys this time since he had Italy. He's leaving 2 and 1. I'm assuming the fighter's going to fly out of there. So that does potentially give me the opportunity. I got 2 transports here, 2 transports here to retake those again next turn. We'll see if we get that or not, because he could choose to try to go for the fleet with his 2 bombers and 3 of his 4 fighters, so he can have 5 hitting there. It'd be tight, but he could. I don't think he will. How he's playing, I don't think he's going to take that shot, but it is something he could do. Again, he can't use all 4 of them because 1, 2, 3, 4 would go here, where he could bring the carrier to land 2 of them on. This guy can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and this carrier would pick him up. But the third one of these can't reach there. Nowhere for him to land. We are going to go ahead and try and take India. I'm going to try to clear these couple guys, and we're going to try and clear these guys. And the good news is we got 7 fighters here to help us, but we're not even going to... I'm going to go ahead and use 2 of my tanks. I'm going to trash them down in India just to keep tempo, because again, he's got his transports here that want to go to Africa. If I can kill these, then I can continue to move guys, into this route and then on up as part of the stack. So we're going to hold off on sending anything there yet. The best thing, which I don't expect to happen, is if he moved his fleet out of here, then my fleet could come in and take India, but I don't expect that to happen. That would be silly of him to do, to be frankly honest. So I expect him to grab these 2 infantry, bring them back with these 4 and 2, and be dropping 8 guys in there. Which we still may attack that the following turn and trash the rest of my UK troops down that route. Don't know. I mean, obviously that's not going to look good on the stat sheet, but it is taking out production spots, frontline production spots, as well as slowing his tempo into Africa, which will pay in the longer run. So, anyways, combat, he took Southern Europe, lost 2, killed 2, took Caucasus, killed the 1, didn't lose any, and Belarusia he did not take, ended up being a 1-for-1 trade, so good news for me on those ones. Purchases, I'm looking at going ahead and buying all 8. I mean, originally I had this and saved 7, which I kind of was leaning towards for me to be able to next turn. Well, let me see here. We're at 24, and we're hoping to get 3. Will give us 27. I want to be able to build. I want to be able to build a fighter next turn. So I can either 6 would be 18, and fighter would be needing 28, and we may have 27 or 24 plus the 3. I mean, I don't know if it's worth saving. I mean, now I only have to build 4 units, so I only have to spend 12, and so I have 12 plus, the other guys. Let's see. Oh, that's it, because I only have 9. I don't quite have enough to spend this time and still get my 6 units in. Anyways, we'll build 2 extra ground. That's 2 less ground I have to build next time. I kind of want to get another transport at part of me, and part of me just wants to get more air. We'll see what it brings up next time. Alright, may the dice be with me. Obviously, this is the riskiest one, um, but I'm hoping everything goes well so that maybe I can bring these 2 down and I'll have 4 tanks and all these planes I can threaten India the following turn on the retake. And just the movement order gets tricky. I really wanted to come in here and go ahead and blast these guys and grab that guy. If I take this guy, then this bomber actually can't reach up to C Zone 3, and he'd only have the 2 bombers here that could reach me. But then meanwhile, when I have just a carrier cruiser here, he would have 4 fighters that could hit me, and these bombers I believe probably can hit there as well. So that wouldn't go too well. I really would like 3 hits first round. That would not be 3 hits. Oh, thank heaven he missed as well. Ooh, hello. Good gracious, at least one tank's learning how to, one tank is able to hit. Wow. Okay, so I mean that's kind of great for me. I may even throw my AA down there now. I was planning on only having 1 or 2 units live. That was some weird dice there. I mean they're in a dead zone, so they're gonna get crushed anyways. But I got the but I killed the 2 and only lost the 1. I'm happy because the money didn't really matter. Even if I took it, UK doesn't get it. Japan retakes it anyway. So that was the important part. Because if UK had taken it, it's Russia's money, but Japan's going to walk right into it anyways. So the IPC value, the unit territory didn't really matter, other than if I had a guy there, he would have to trade for it. So mission accomplished there for what I wanted, and that means Moscow is safe. That was the most important thing. There we go. Very good. All right, this was pretty much the opposite of the was it round 7? I think it was that UK just looked disastrous. So he's going to have 8 ground coming in here and 2 battleships, which means he probably doesn't even need the air to come into here. If I felt like he needed the air, then it'd be good to put the AA in there, right? Or can I run my tanks and the AA in there and hold it? Let's take a look at this. Yeah, no, if I threw everything, I was thinking, what if I threw the 6 tanks in there and the AA? If I could land the fighters there too, that'd been great. But fortunately, I can't. So um, even with the if he just did 6-2 in the battleships and cruiser and didn't bring his air in here at all, let's see, he's got a 90% chance of winning. So he doesn't have to risk his air at all just to take these, because he'd be able to get all 3 shots, because he should, if he's smart, he'll grab 2 here and use his transport to grab these guys to come back. That way he can use his cruiser shot too. So he would have 8 and 3 bombardments. So I'm going to save my AA, but I do think what we're going to do, and I need to double check my math on this. I just want to double check that we are solid there. And we're going to pull all UK units out of West Russia. Because like we said, we want to have the option to be able to move them. And potentially maybe just end up bringing them right back. I don't know. We'll see. You know what? We may want to keep that AA there, actually. We're going to put some units there. Let's keep that AA there because he could air raid to prevent the retake, where I'm going to have 4 tanks. Was it 7 fighters? Yeah. So I'll have infantry, artillery, 4 tanks, and 7 fighters. So I have 13 units I can hit there. And the most he can bring is 8. So we're going to be able to trade that again and move our US in. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and end my turn here. I am going to double check my numbers here, make sure we're still good against the Japan forces there. And I'll get that taken care of. And we should be good.